myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's the drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone Podcast. It's me, Michael, and with me, as always, S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ford.
How's it going, man? Sound like death, man. I'm not gonna, yeah. Not gonna lie, man. Sound like you're a little under the weather, eh?
Yeah, very much. I've been sick for a few days now.
Telling you, those kids, they're just a whole bunch of germ-full cesspools right there, man.
Bro, and they're not even mine.
They're not even yours.
Yeah, it's crazy, when ever since I got COVID back then, when I got it real bad. When
you used to have a rock-hard immune system, man. I remember you used to never be sick before that, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, holy fuck, dude. It's like, oh, shit, someone's got a cold around Mike. He's out. He's out
for 2 weeks. Jeez.
So, for our listeners, viewers, thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
As I try to truck through it, Steve's going to be nursing me along probably.
I probably will. Yeah, if I go on something and I don't hear you reply, I'll just keep going because I'll just assume you died at your desk.
Yeah, I passed away peacefully.
Passed away peacefully at his desk.
Pay no attention to the corpse in the fucking window.
Oh my God. You just put up a sign. Technical difficulties. Right
Technical difficulties.
I got your side.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got that colored screen. That
oh my gosh! Stay tuned. Yeah. You just get tone.
For those, so our people who listen to the show instead of watch it, they get to hear the song at the beginning.
Yes.
And the others, who are watching it, we don't do the song. But sometimes we'll talk about it. When I first saw this rundown, I thought it was going to be the Monkees. You went with All My. Is it after All My Loving?
It is All My Loving with the Beatles. I thought it'd be fun since we're just wrapping up Valentine's Day to throw a little love in there. So
I could have swore because it was like it has the pace, the way it's written in the rundown. It's like the season's here.
Oh, dude.
Is right.
Dude, I should do that. You know what? I'm going to take those same lyrics and put it to "Hey, hey, we're the Monkees" on next week's show. All right, because it's always for those of people that don't know, when we're prepping for the show, usually the last thing I do is the song. And, because it's always the hardest thing coming up with lyrics. And you know what? If I use the same lyrics next week, just with a different melody, all right, it's written itself. I'm good to go.
60 songs, you gotta love it.
Hell they're real toe tappers. Yeah.
Speaking of, what's a good segue to this? I was going to say,
speaking of toe tapping your way to the unemployment line, Tony Clark.
I love it. That's exactly it. Didn't see this one coming.
No. I mean, we broke it a little bit during last week's show, but we really didn't have any facts in place.
No.
It was just, I think, very fresh when we were recording. But now the facts are in place, and the fact is, got a real shifty bastard right here.
Tony Clark's a creep.
Yeah, dude. So he's out, effective immediately. I think he was getting ready to go to Cleveland or something to do his usual go around to every spring training location and pump up the talk about what's going on. And that effectively got canceled. He resigned, and we got to investigate. What do you have? Misuse of financial funds there. What does he have? Inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff for T. Clark here.
Yeah, that was crazy. My dogs don't even like Tony Clark.
No, they used to probably. But maybe.
I don't even know how that happens. Like, okay, so not only you might be fucking up with funds, misappropriating funds, but at the same time, you're having an inappropriate relationship with your sister-in-law. Which that strikes on a whole new thing. It's kind of sad. I mean, because Tony Clark, he was, before all this went down, a lot of people thought, I mean, he was very 10 toes in the sand. You're not breaking me. You're not moving us from this spot. I mean, he was like kind of a very stern leader. And then suddenly you find out he's kind of a dirtbag, and you're like, oh my God, like what? This is at the worst time for the players.
We're what, 10 months away from the collective bargaining agreement expiring, and now you have to put a new person in place to run the show here. It's going to happen at the worst possible time for the MLBPA. So,
and this new guy they hired, I don't really know much about him. Bruce Meyer.
I guess he ran the player negotiations during the 21-22 lockout, and so I guess that helps to have someone in place that knows the the negotiation side, has been in those trenches before. That I think is going to is going to help them on their end when it comes to bargaining for a new agreement here after the season.
I mean, they definitely hired the right guy in terms of experience. He's an attorney, right? A long-time attorney. So that definitely helps them coming into the new bargaining agreement, because you're going to have a guy that understands they decided not to go with the former player. They're going to go with a guy that is basically just an attorney, a guy that is a courtroom star. So, I mean, I get it. I get the move. It's very smart. Very smart. Now, the problem with that is going to be, you say you get your new CBA, say it all goes well, blah, 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 and you enter 2-3 years from now, he doesn't really understand players as much.
Nope, he hasn't been in the locker rooms and all that. It doesn't have the pulse of what goes on and player talk, and can really relate to the players. He's more of the the court. He knows the laws and all that, but doesn't have that personal approach, kind of like that Tony Clark had, being a former player. So that could work as kind of a disadvantage when you're trying to fight for the players.
Right. And I don't understand why can't you have two bosses, right? One that handles the player side, one that handles the law side. And it's kind of like a Simon and Garfunkel thing. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, why not?
Well, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, right? It works the team here, right? Yeah. You take the high parts, I write the melodies, all right?
Oh, that hurts. That's so good. That was a pull, man. That was a pull.
That was good.
Yeah, you went deep. That is pause. That's so Tony Clark's gonna be toe tapping his way to the unemployment
line, dude, and potentially a divorce. Who knows at this point? I mean,
that's a tough one.
Keep it in the family, I guess. Silver lining, you kept it in the family.
No. I mean, it counts in a weird way.
Yeah, in a weird way. Yeah.
I always wondered, people who become power hungry, because you see that with Urban Meyer when he went to Jacksonville. You've seen that through how many college coaches who come out in any sport where it's like, oh yeah, they were banging some graduate assistant or something, and it just, people get so power hungry sometimes where it's they
makes him a different person, man.
Mike Tomlin. I mean, his oust with the Steelers. You look behind, he was having something with some young white girl, and I was like, God damn, what's wrong with you people?
Come on,
people, meaning the guys in higher positions, not black people.
No, we brought up Urban Meyer. He's white. All right, and Rick Pitino. He's a whole sleaze bag himself there with his
Bobby Petrino, Rick Pitino.
Dude, yeah.
Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey up here taking strays.
Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs have like an appropriate he took mustache rides outside the marriage bed right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
anyway, you get a sniff of success or power. It makes for a lot of people, it makes them a different person.
It really does. And, it really does. And
seems like it was with Tony Clark too.
Which, it's just weird, because when you're at that point, you're kind of like, okay, bro, like, you're head of the players union. You're not the fucking commissioner of baseball.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're not Rob Manfred. All right.
Let's calm down.
Get in line. All right. Yeah.
So that part's crazy. But, one thing I wanted to bring up before we move on to our Then and Now series is, 2026 has been like the year of death. I mean,
it really has, and we're not even done with February yet.
Did you see the guy from Revenge of the Nerds passed away?
I did, yeah. Revenge of the Nerds, and he was also Lizzie McGuire's dad, and the Lizzie
Robert
McGuire.
Carradine.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are we doing? I mean,
Yeah, man.
So many. And
Rob Reiner, all these people passing away here.
It's so sad, dude.
Even in our baseball family too.
Yeah. And I mean, when the year Willie Mays died, there was a lot of stars that died that year. And this year, recently, I think yesterday, Bill Mazeroski died.
Dude,
and that was a Pittsburgh legend. Now his isn't as shocking, right? I'm gonna be 100 with you guys. I didn't even know he was still alive.
He's still alive. Oh my God.
That's not to take away from this great man.
No. And his clutch home run, and he was the butt of Mike and I's jokes a lot for the Hall of Fame, where this guy got into the Hall of Fame based on one home run to beat the Yankees.
One of the most insane ones.
Yeah, a veterans committee guy got in, but let's not take away, from he got in the Hall of Fame based on a great home run. But I'm looking through some of his stats. He's a very good defensive player. I'll say that. Eight-time Gold Glove Award winner. He turned over 1,700 career double plays, which is an MLB record for second baseman. He led the NL in double plays for 8 consecutive years. Led the MLB in assists, I think 9 times.
Wow.
So just a fantastic fielder. And a hitter? Not so much. He had one great home run, over 2,000 hits. So he doesn't hit the benchmark there. 138 career home runs. Okay. 260 career average or so, 853 RBI. So he basically got in the Hall of Fame because he hit one great home run. He was a hell of a defender. Not to take away from, he was a Pittsburgh legend, part of those great teams in the 60s. So shit.
He was white Ozzie Smith.
He was the white Ozzie Smith. Totally.
If you look at the Mount Rushmore of Pittsburgh Pirates, I wouldn't even put him in the top 10. I hate to say it.
Oh God.
I hate to say it. I feel like we're
stamping on his grave now at this point.
Yeah.
R.I.P. buddy. All right.
R.I.P. I mean, well, that Mount Rushmore is Honus Wagner, Roberto Clemente. I mean, I guess you could say Barry Bonds, maybe.
Stargell. Right?
Stargell. Yeah. Stargell. Archie Vaughn was up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had some like.
You talk about the people are ready to put Paul Skeens on there after 2 seasons, right?
Yeah. McCutcheon, Dave Parker,
Andy Van Slyke.
Yeah.
And he's good.
I'll put him over Bill Mazeroski. He just never had the moment like Bill. No, Bill came up 1960 against the Yankees, 1960, and the big home run catapulted them to a World Series victory.
Yeah.
Their first in centuries, decades.
Yeah.
It was great, and I mean, he passed away at 89 years old, right?
He had a good run.
He had a hell of a run. I mean, you're seeing that with a lot of these ball players, of the guys that were born or that highlighted in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. They're all passing away now. I mean, we're seeing some legends. I mean, look at the last time we seen Willie Horton. I mean, look how just like kind of old and more run down.
Yeah, he's got to be getting in his twilight years here. I'd say,
Mickey Lolich, he passed away recently. I mean, it's crazy, and it's just it's one of those things where, Bill Mazeroski is probably one of the best second basemen of his era.
Yep,
Gold Glove wise, sure, but it's an
legend. It's definitely a tough loss, but I go back to our Hall of Fame discussions. Should he be in there?
Yeah,
no.
No, probably not. And that's why, he's the reason why people like Andrew Jones could get in off of just the Gold Gloves alone. So you might as well say even Arenado. I don't think Arenado has Hall of Fame stats yet. I don't know if he ever will, but he already has like 10 or 11 Gold Gloves. So you might as well say he's in.
Man, he's in.
It's just a travesty, dude. It really is. But tip the hat to old Bill.
Bill Mazeroski, still one of the coolest home runs that I've seen. How cool is it to say you walked off a Game 7 of a World Series to win a championship, right?
Against the Yankees.
Against the dreaded New York Yankees and Ralph Terry.
But one of the best Yankees teams. Matt O'Maris. I mean, that was fuck.
Yeah. probably put a chip on their shoulders, say fuck you, and then they came back and ran the table with that 61 team. You know?
Yeah, 61. They just hit the fucking gas.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, Mazeroski, and just went on the tangent.
You sit down to pee now.
Yeah, exactly.
So before I pass out here, how about we get a word from our sponsor?
Let's do it. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned card enthusiast, the Penny Sleever is your one-stop shop for all your card protection needs. They carry everything from classic regular sleeves and versatile top loaders in multiple thicknesses, 35-point, 55-point, 75-point, 100-point, and beyond, to premium magnetic card holders and specially graded card sleeves perfect for PSA and SGC slabs. Need resealable bags, team bags, vintage sleeves, or colored top loaders? They have over 71 products in stock, all priced to help you build and protect your collection without breaking the bank. And now they're offering an exclusive promotion just for you. First-time buyers can get 10% off their entire order with promo code LONGGONE. Just visit thepennysleever.com and use that code at checkout. Don't let your valuable cards go unprotected. Shop the Penny Sleever today and see why collectors trust them with their most prized possessions. The Penny Sleever. Premium protection, penny pinching prices.
All right, we're back. Mike, you still alive?
I made it.
All right, cool. Penny Sleever, man, I love them. Love what they do. I wanted to mention their shipping policy. They got very affordable shipping rates. So they have a flat rate $7 shipping for any order under $59, and then if you go over $59, it's free shipping. So. You see a lot of people get burned with the shipping, buying multiple things, and that shipping can add up. But with that flat rate of anything under $59 ships for $7, and then if you go over 59, free shipping, you can't go wrong with that. It's I think it's a very generous shipping policy. So take a look at their site. Like I said in the ad read, they have over 70 items in stock. Take a look. We got new, Topps keeps dropping new products, so you're gonna want to get your holders and your bumpers and all that stuff to get yourself set for the new season here. Check out Penny Sleever and get what you need, because they're great people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, quality stuff too. This isn't like cheap shit that you can make out of a 3D printer. I mean, this stuff is actually worth what you're buying. I mean, for sure. And that's stuff that Steve and I use and will continue to use, especially their magnetic holders. I'm a big fan of those. Are great. Yeah. And their aluminum bumpers, which I just love that you can get it in different colors. Which
dude, that's dope. Matching like the one that I have for the Mark Fitchers for the Tigers, got that tiger orange going on it. It's fucking sweet. Really a great accessory to have. Really makes your PSA cards stand out. It's really dope.
Yeah, makes me want to slap my own ass.
And then pass out from sickness.
But before I do, we are continuing on our Then and Now series. We are at left fielders. We have center fielders, right fielders, and DH to go. So that's 3 more weeks. And gotta say, Steve, I put your picks out there on a Reddit forum of last week. Holy shit.
They loved him, didn't they? They loved them so much.
They just didn't understand Travis Fryman. I had to tell him, I was like, hey, Fryman.
Hey, I preface it. Listen to the show. He was and I prefaced it by saying this is kind of a homer pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
But remember that first season when he debuted, he was like, it was like Nick Kurtz was last year with Oakland. It was like, he was like, whoa, he took off. This guy's the future. Right? I mean, so if we're looking at a pure 90s perspective, what's that?
Didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to in Detroit, but he had a lot of quality years to close out the 90s in Cleveland. Multiple-time All-Star. You know what? Reddit, kiss my hairy ass. All right, I'm standing by my Fryman pick. All right.
Yeah,
you're ready for some of these picks, though. I'm gonna love some of our picks here for left fielders.
Yeah, left fielders pretty crazy. I mean, well, not over the top crazy. I think left fielders now are a little bit more crazy than then. Then is pretty clear cut for the most part. Yeah. There is a one I see, which I am surprised you went, and I can't wait to hear it. But Steve, start us off with your number 5 top left fielder of the 1990s. Who's your pick?
So, I'm gonna go with a guy that had one fantastic season. Probably roided up at that point. Jury's still out on that, but has that roid cloud, and that's Brady Anderson there, the Baltimore Orioles. I put him in here. Like I said, he had one amazing season there in 1996 where he hit 50 home runs, became the 15th player in MLB history to achieve this feat, and also set a Orioles team record that held until Chris Davis surpassed it in 2013. He was a 3-time All-Star in the 90s. 210 home runs, 315 career stolen bases, a 362 on base percentage. The guy had, that speed and power combo, maybe a pinch of steroids in between. But the first player in Major League Baseball history to have a 50-plus homer season, a 50-plus stolen base season in separate seasons. Like I said, the 50 home runs in 96, 53 stolen bases in 92. 92, his first season as a full-time player, he became the first player in American League history to reach 20 home runs, 50 steals, and 75 RBIs in a single season. And he also set an American League record with 34 consecutive stolen bases in 1995. So obviously, get on base, steal bases, had the power. He was, also fantastic in the field as well. He didn't spend his whole career there in left, kind of bounced around the outfield a bit, but had a perfect fielding percentage of 1,000 among AL left fielders in 94. And just was a strong defensive player overall in his time in the 90s. That's why I have Brady Anderson in at number 5.
I love Brady Anderson. I thought Brady Anderson was a very competent player in the 80s and 90s for sure. I mean, you look at that string. I mean, the Mark Kotze's, Darren Erstad's, Brady Anderson's. I know I'm missing a couple other guys. I mean, there were. I think if you look at future Detroit Tiger Max Clark, I think he profiles very much like a Brady Anderson.
Yeah. He used to calm that ego down, though, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Guy's pretty. Who Max Clark's favorite person is? Who? Max Clark.
Oh yeah. Max Clark.
Guy loves himself very much.
He loves Max Clark. He loves Jesus second, Max Clark first.
Max Clark first. Yep, exactly.
But continuing on with my 90s left fielder, number 5 for me is a guy that got Steve Bartman in trouble for bitching too much. Moises Alou.
Oh, great pick.
Yeah, man. That's a deep pull. Moises Alou, everybody remembers in left field. He went for that seemingly foul ball hit and was ready to grab it, and Steve Bartman, even though there was other fans right there doing the same thing, Bartman got in trouble. Moises was bitching at him, and Steve Bartman basically never lived the same life again. I actually blame Moises Alou a lot for jumping that up, because when Moises Alou, and this has nothing to do with his 90s run, when Moises Alou, remember when the ball got knocked out of his glove and everybody was bitching at Steve Bartman, Moises Alou was in the outfield like, what are you doing? Like, he was bitching at him too. So, yeah, that sucked. But Moises Alou very much had a great career. Started out Pittsburgh, Montreal in the 90s, started out in 1990, and he comes from a big baseball family. Yeah. Felipe Alou, I think, is his dad. I mean, Moises Alou is one of the best at that time. I mean, in the 90s, he was always in all-star consideration. He was an MVP consideration in the late 90s. Dark horse, I think his best season was in 1998, where he hit 312 with 124 ribs off 182 hits. I mean, 981 OPS, great season from him for sure. But Moises Alou, for me, I had to put him on this list. Comes in at number 5 for best left fielder of the 90s.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I love Moises Alou, and the way he went after Bartman, though, I swear, if he had a knife, he might have stabbed him after that.
Yeah, nobody brings up his reaction. It was like, dude, you amped up the crowd so much.
He did. He slammed his glove down, pointing.
He was so pissed,
dude. He was pissed.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, I went with one of my favorite players from the 90s. It would be Ron Gant. Time with the Braves, Phillies. Looking at his time in the 90s, had 236 home runs, 714 RBIs in the 90s, and 188 total stolen bases. In the decade of the 90s, he sit very solid, or right around a 265 average. He was a 2-time All-Star in 90 and 91, and did win a Silver Slugger Award in 93. His peak years really were in those early 90s there, between 90 and 93. In 1990, he became a member of the 30-30 club at the ripe young age of 25. power kind of went down a little bit as the decade went on, but early on he was just known for his power and speed. I mean, he was a base stealing threat, regularly getting 25 plus steals a season. Later half of the decade the speed kind of went down, but just a great part of that that Braves team, and in those early 90s started making those World Series runs. So Ron Gant, he comes in for me at number 4.
Yeah, it's a good pick. And when you're thinking 90s left fielders, Ron Gant's got to be in consideration. I took Ron Gant as well. I thought his best years were for sure Atlanta and St. Louis. Absolutely. We did a little trade that went wrong so many years ago. Oh, little Mikey thought that Ron Gant was better than Andrew Jones at the time, right? And
oh boy.
Yeah, this was his coming off his years in Atlanta. He was in St. Louis. I'm like, Andrew Jones is the next Willie Mays, right? So I traded away Andrew Jones, kept Ron Gant. I traded him for, I think it was a Topps 91 Gant. And
solid. Okay.
Yeah, I think he was like, I think it was one of the ones where he was posing. And I was like, I thought Gant, I was like, no, man, Gant is turning it around in St. Louis. He's going to reclaim those years. And you know what, Steve? It never happened.
It never happened.
Damn you, Gant. You burned me.
Dude, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Gant was an incredible, but he was great in the early 90s, kind of harking off what Steve said. 216 doubles in the 90s, which is pretty good. Struck out a lot, though. Struck out almost 1,000 times in the 90s.
Ouch.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ron Gant was... with him, it was about staying healthy. I mean, if he could have stayed healthy like he did early in his career, I think he could have did a lot more, but I don't know. It was injury bug really hit him, and it affected him, because you saw a guy that could easily hit 30-plus home runs a season, and then it just fluctuated. It's like, okay, he had like a Trout kind of career later on where it was like, dude, this guy's never fucking healthy. So
yeah. Very Trout-esque.
Yes. Ron Gant, number 4.
Okay. Number 3 for me, I went with Ricky Henderson. Obviously peak year there, 1990, or winning the MVP with a OPS of over 1,000 and led the league in runs and stolen bases. Ricky Henderson, he just kept powering on. I mean, it's a guy who played well into his 40s. During the 90s, he had over 1,100 hits in the 90s, 264 batting average for the decade, 120 home runs, 428 runs batted in. Just a guy consistently could get on base. Throughout the 90s, he consistently drew at least 70 plus walks and had his OBP was always elevated as his batting average did decline in later years, but he could still draw the walk and get on base. And once he's on base, still a stealing machine. Stealing 30 plus bases multiple seasons during the 90s. He played for the A's, but also got another World Series there with the Blue Jays in '93. But just a guy who great pop in the bat and great defensive prowess in the left field. So Ricky Henderson, he comes in for me at number 3.
And I'm gonna kind of cut the tail off here before anybody says anything. His best years were in the '80s, right? So a lot of people are probably going to be like, fuck, are you serious? Ricky Henderson's not number 2. No. Aside from his MVP in 90, he was never that. I mean, his best years were in the 80s. Like, you can't even compete with that. I mean, his base stealing is different. He was always an immaculate base stealer, but the way, hitting and everything else, he was good, but he wasn't as great as he was in the 80s. And I mean, he wasn't even an all-star. I think his last all-star appearance was in 91. So,
you're right. Yeah.
But we'll talk a little bit more about him in a second. I'm going to say Albert Bell with my number 3 pick. And, I listen, Albert Bell, probably roided, is an asshole.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
We're talking stats on this show, all right? Where the stats are in print, and we got to go based on stats. Yeah.
Got to go based
not
on
personalities, not on roids.
But was there any? I mean, he was a top 5 hitter in all of baseball. I'd say from like 93 to 98. He was he was that good. I I mean, what he was able to do in 12 years, I think it's a long career. But considering other players, you're like, well, that's maybe not as long. I think he had, his best year, and I think was in 95, 126 ribs, 50 home runs, his first 50 home run season, a 690 slugging percentage. And I'm naming stuff here, 52 doubles too. Very Jose Ramirez-esque with that, because he wasn't like a liability. He wasn't like this base stealer, but he wasn't also like this huge liability on the bases. But he's a guy, he was like an extra base machine. And I kind of look at that like Jose Ramirez is a lot like that, who played for the same team, plays for the same team. So a guy that constantly was over 900 in OPS. Kind of going off some of his earlier stuff here. In the 90s, he had 350 home runs, 1,099 ribs, 299 average. I mean, when you think of best players of the 90s, he's got to be on everybody's list. So Albert Bell for me definitely comes in at number 3.
Well, he's so good for me, except for being an asshole. He comes in for me at number 2, mostly because he edges out Ricky because of the offensive stats that he put up. 5-time All-Star in the 90s, 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Led the league in home runs there in 95, AL RBI leader, multiple times. 95, only player ever to hit 50-plus home runs and 50-plus doubles in one season. Like you said, Mike, that 93 to 98, stretch was just dominant, regularly hitting over 40 home runs, 130-plus RBIs, but still maintaining a high batting average, And little fact on him here: he was the first player to break a $10 million annual salary barrier when he signed with the White Sox in '97. So, how about that?
There you go.
We've come a long way from that. His stolen bases did go down some as the decade progressed, but just a mammoth hitter who most likely roided. But still, nonetheless, Albert Bell, he comes in for me at number 2.
I was watching the game where he put those, where he had his loaded bat.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, those Super Bowls flying over the infield. I mean, he even knew it. At first, he was like, "What?" I was like, "Dude, that's so funny." Like, I was watching with my dad, and we both were just laughing how fucking hilarious that was.
Like Sammy Sosa with his cork bat.
Yes,
he was all surprised about it. Oh, I used that one in batting practice to give the fans a show.
Yeah,
whatever you say, Sammy. All right,
sure. My number 2, Ricky Henderson. Like I said, his best years were in the 80s.
Yep.
The 90s were really good for him as well. But I just feel like a lot of people surpassed him in terms of just the kind of style the game was going, right? Your leadoff hitters were looking a little different. Everything was a little bit more different in terms of the way the game was played, where you put him in the lineup. And Ricky Henderson was always a great player. But I feel like the 90s, there were other people that kind of surpassed him. That's not the takeaway. He's on this list because he was still one of the greats. So for me, number 2. Yep.
Okay. And number 1, I think we both agree on this one, would be a guy, again, roided up, but not in the 90s, we don't think, right? Maybe not. At least, in the 90s were kind of, peak years before he got all big-headed and stuff. That'd be Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds in the 90s, won an MVP in '93. I think that was his first year with the Giants. 5-time All-Star, multiple Gold Gloves. It's a guy who, Barry Bonds. If he didn't take steroids, he'd already be in the Hall of Fame. We look at pre-steroid Bonds and post-steroid Bonds, and Mike and I talked about it before. We think pre-steroid Bonds would be still a Hall of Famer. It's a guy who, in the 90s, they averaged about 36 home runs a season, and also averaged close to 40 stolen bases a season by also batting close to 300 and drawing walks. The guy had over 1,100 walks in the 90s, so very patient hitter. Great eye at the plate, could do it defensively and could do it offensively. And I'm sure, Michael has some, his thoughts on Bonds too, but Barry Bonds comes in for me at number 1.
Yeah, same thing. Just echoing off of what you said. I think his best attribute, my opinion, was his bat speed. I thought he had incredible bat speed and probably some of the best bat speed of all time. Even to this day, I don't think I've seen anybody with just the kind of speed he had. And it's a guy I don't think needed the roids. It's a guy that he totally changed his game from being kind of a 5-tool player to being very like 2-3 tooly. focused more on hitting. At that time, players are getting bigger contracts. He wanted to cash in.
Yep.
And I we mentioned this in last week's show too, and it's with the McGuire and Sosa thing. He wanted to cash in like they were.
Yep.
And when he started juicing, that's because it was for money. I mean, it was definitely for money. And do you blame him? Yeah. I mean, I think he ruined a lot of things in baseball, and it's sad too because when he played before we even knew about what juicing was with these guys. He was. I mean, you look at him. It was just he was just the best player ever of all time. Maybe.
Yeah, dude.
And he just
phenomenal talent.
Phenomenal talent. I mean, especially in the '90s, he just had everything about him. I mean, he was. We had Ken Griffey in the AL, and then you had Barry Bonds in the NL. It was fucking a great time in baseball.
Yeah,
and it's just it ended up getting ruined, unfortunately.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, Bonds number 1. Congratulations,
Bonds number
buddy. 1. So let's move from the then to the now as we start taking a look at our top left fielders now and kicking things off. It's a guy from our team, the Detroit Tigers. I went with Riley Green coming in here at number 5 for me. Kind of put on some weight to get that power, Mike. You and I both noticed it right off the bat. We're like, is this jersey looking a little tighter? Is he looking a little chunkier? Yeah, I did. I was opening day. I think it was like the home opener. I was like, is he fat? What's going on? Anyway, he did have a breakout season last year. Was it 36 home runs, 111 RBIs? Average went down though. Riley Green's always been a very patient. At least the first few years in the league, he traded his patience and eye for power. Batting average went down to 258. OPS was over 800, which is so 2025 was his best season yet. In 2024, the power was coming up to 24 home runs, over 70 RBIs, and that was his first All-Star season. So he's coming on back-to-back All-Star seasons, and he's just a wizard in the in the field here. The guy makes just plays that are just unbelievable. Ranked number 2 in the Fielding Bible Awards for left field defensive players in 2024. He's got range, can make those catches, and very strong throwing arm. So he can do it in the field, and he's got the power at the plate. So Riley Green comes in for me at number 5.
Great pick indeed. I went. My number 5 is Jarren Duran. I thought, Jarren Duran's an interesting, very interesting. From the year before last, he was dark horse MVP. Last year. I mean, I don't think he had a bad season. Was it as great as the season before? No, but he still got the most RBIs in his career with 84. I personally think the Red Sox are using him wrong. I think this guy definitely has 5-tool potential, but I don't think we should applaud like, oh my God, this guy could be a 30, 40 home run hitter. I don't know if he's that. I think he's a guy that is very much kind of like Pete Rose, or I'm not saying that's how he plays like. I'm saying in terms of what you need from him. You need him to get on base and move over, because when he's on base, he can steal. He can move. He's fast. He does a lot of good things on bases, and he's not bad in the field either, but he's an extra base machine, another extra base guy. But I think sometimes they try to think he's like a J-Ram kind of player when I don't think he's going to be as refined like that. I think it's not going to be like that with him. So I think where they put him in the lineup is just kind of wrong, especially if he's in the heart of the lineup. It's not good. So, but I nevertheless, a really good player. Has one of Boston's only stars now that they've been cleaning out. Jarren Duran
gutted the team.
5. Gutted the team.
I got Duran in at number 4. Like you said, 2024 was kind of a breakout season for him, where he led the league in doubles, led the league in triples. In 2025 still led the league in triples, but, his average did dip. But like you said, Mike, I think Boston's really, using him wrong. I mean, go back to what he was doing in 2024 and just replicate it again for this coming season, because he's shown, he can get you the doubles, can get you the hits, almost 200 hits in 2024. Get back to what he was doing there in that season and for 2025, and he's going to be all right. For everything that you said, I like him as well, but he just comes in for me, Jarren Duran at number 4.
Potential's there. It's just going to be interesting to see how the Red Sox use him or how much they rely on him.
Sure.
My number 4, I'm with the guy that doesn't get enough love at all in this league, and he should. And I remember he was not last year, but the year before last, I've never seen a hitting performance like that, like he did against the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers. That was Stephen Kwan.
For sure.
The guy just can get on base. He's just a hitting machine. He can get on base. Last year, I thought he was trying a little too hard at times. He played a lot, 156 games, but it just, I don't know. It wasn't coming as easy to him last year. Not to say he had a bad season, right? I mean, I think most players would kill to have 272 average, right, with 170 hits. But I think this guy could easily hit 200 hits a season. But it's another one. I don't know. I don't want to say he's being used wrong because Cleveland has shown the ability to get far, do well in the season and even go and make the postseason with their lineup. So I like Stephen Kwan a lot, and he's a Gold Glove in left field. That's the thing. It's not a guy that's just like Tony Gwynn, who's just like all hitting and no fielding, right? I mean, this guy, this guy is a very good, one of the best left fielders out there. But I don't know, man. I feel like people sleep on Stephen Kwan so much, and he's only 27. And this is a guy that just very, very much just a scientist when it comes to hitting. So Stephen Kwan, and I was a guy that, like, when Cleveland there was rumors that he was up for trade last year. I don't understand that because he doesn't cost a lot. Dude. And why more teams didn't jump on that, I have no idea. It's kind of like Luis Ariz, right? It's like, the guy's an amazing hitter. Like, he gets on base. Like, he's an analytics darling. Why wouldn't you want these guys on your team?
What the fuck's the matter with you?
They're just not valid. They're just not valued a lot. I don't know. It's crazy. So Stephen Kwan for me comes in at number 4.
For me, at number 3, another guy that I feel like isn't getting valued enough. A guy I really like, and that's Ian Happ. All right, Ian Happ is you talk about his offensive numbers aren't flashy, but it gets the job done. 243 average, just like it was in 2024. 25 home runs in 2024, 23 home runs this past season. It's going to get you consistently 70, 80 plus RBIs, but he's going to do it in the field. The guy's a 4-time Gold Glove Award winner. So, he's doing it at the plate and is not a defensive liability on the field, either. So I like his plate discipline too. He consistently draws walks. So it's great discipline at the plate. At a career high in walks this past season with 87. So it's very high walk rate compared to his strikeouts. So he's able to work the pitcher counts and get on base and he's consistent. The guy plays 150 plus games a season. Switch hitter, so he's got the advantage of going both sides of the plate. Like I said, do it in the field. Do it at the plate. Just easily overlooked at in Chicago. So Ian Happ comes in for me at number 3.
Yeah, definitely overlooked. I mean, when people thought about remember he was a young Ian Happ when a lot of those guys were leaving town. Your Rizzos and Baez's and all them.
And Brian and all that.
Yeah, definitely underlooked. Definitely overlooked. I went with he's a little higher on my list. I went with Riley Green. Okay. I think I actually would have put him a scotch higher if it wasn't for the strikeouts.
Dude,
yeah. The strikeouts were a problem last year with him. A big fucking problem.
Yeah.
And but it's weird. The last 2 seasons he's sold out for power. When he first entered the league, he was like a hitting machine. In the Stephen Kwan-esque Andre Ethier type mold where he could get on base, but he can also get you those key RBIs when you need it. I remember him coming up through the minors. It was like, oh, his glove isn't good, but he quickly showed like his glove was amazing. But within Detroit, it was more of a speed thing. That's why he didn't always play center field. So they moved him over to left, between right and left, or in that realm. And he's done very good, but he doubled down on the power. Now it's like, okay, let's get those power numbers up, which lead to over 30 home runs. And he wants 100 ribs a year. That's the kind of guy that he's turning into. I don't hate it. I just don't know if that is sustainable, right? And that's what I'm interested to see with Riley Green is this approach that he's taken sustainable. So we'll see. So for that, I'm interested to see. It's like a guy that it's kind of like when Blake Griffin, right? Blake Griffin was like a powerhouse dunker, amazing. Came to the Pistons, he had to reinvent his game. To me, I think that was so underlooked that I thought that was so cool. Like how he
I
invented
think he
it.
had his best season with the Pistons. That one season where he tweaked his game and pretty much
Right?
willed them to the playoffs on one leg.
And nobody talks about it. And I
Nobody
thought
talked
that was
about it,
really
yeah.
good. And so I'm seeing this with Riley on that, where it was like, okay, yeah, me getting on base, blah 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 blah. Now I'm going to show you the power. I'm going to come this way with my game because I'm channeling a different aspect of my game. So for that reason, though, I'm going to keep him at number 3 for me.
Okay. See how fat he gets this season.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking that.
Oh God! Starts eating nachos and going for a foul ball in left field.
That'd be wild,
right? Number 2 for me. I talk about small sample size, but I like what I see, and that's James Woods here for the Washington Nationals. He's coming off his first All-Star season at the ripe old age of 22. He's 23 now. This guy's got superstar potential. Again, going back to Riley Green, I harken back. He's got to come back on the fucking strikeouts, though. The guy led the league, and the guy led the league in strikeouts with 221.
This guy's going for records.
Shit. He really has 256 average, but he's got the power. He's got 31 home runs, 94 RBIs this past year, 221 strikeouts, and 598 plate appearances. Cut back on the strikeouts, James. All right, but still 153 hits on the year. He's got the pop. Give you the doubles. 38 doubles this past year. I think it's going to be the first of many all-star appearances for this guy, but he's also got a cannon for an arm. Can stop the extra base hits, and he's a threat to throw runners out when the ball gets hit to him. So he can do it in the field. Cannon, good arm. Just cut back on the fucking strikeouts, dude, and you'll be golden for me. And so because of that, James Woods, he comes in for me at number 2.
Yeah, number 2 for me is James Wood as well.
Nice.
If there was an award for best sleeper pick in the fantasy baseball draft, it would go to you for taking him.
Yeah, dude, I
thought that was such a good fucking pick. When you picked him, that was a late rounder. I was like, I was really hoping nobody was going to draft him, and I think you drafted him, right?
I did. Yeah,
I think you drafted him. It wasn't a pickup on the pool because I was like, man, I really could use him. Because I thought James Wood, I thought he'd have busted out 2 more years down the line. I didn't think it would bust out this soon.
Mm-hmm.
And you fucking nailed that pick. And I don't know if you knew this, but all season, I fucking hated you. No. All season, I tried to think of a way to trade for him. But I didn't have the team, and I knew this was a guy that gave you good spark, especially when he played 157 games. He was consistently in the lineup.
Yep.
So that was to me.
Is that right up there with when you picked up Nick Kurtz and then you're like, this guy sucks, and you kicked him to the curb, and then
that was probably the biggest bonehead move. I can't remember if I drafted him or picked him up, but I was like, I got.
He's not doing it. Yeah,
he's gonna go down the minors, and then we'll see him next season. But no, and of course he turns around. But that James Wood pick was phenomenal, nice. And I very much James Wood reminds me of a young Dave Winfield.
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
And
that's good.
But you're right, Steve. He's got to cut down on those fucking strikeouts. Dude, I think Dave Winfield was a little bit more patient of a hitter, polished, but that came with age. But I think James Wood's future is bright. I think the Nationals got a good one in him, so he's in my number 2.
I agree. And then number 1, I think we both agreed on number 1 as well, and that's for the Brewers, Jackson Chourio. I mean, this guy, again, you talk about, unlike James Wood, this guy has really good plate discipline. For the most part here, solid average. Career batting average 272, great on base percentage, an OPS of 780 in his career. A guy his rookie season in 2024 became the youngest player in MLB history to achieve a 2020 season with 20 home runs, 20 plus stolen bases. Physical attributes, 6 foot, 204, great frame that can, he can drive the ball. Young and developing, still super, super young. So, he's still honing in on that, but I think we got a superstar in the making here, and leave it to the Brewers here. They just keep finding people and developing them. Don't fucking spend money for the most part on players, but they can find and develop, and Jackson Chourio is another one of them. So Jackson Chourio comes in for me at number 1.
Great pick, same. Yeah, Jackson Chourio reminds me of Ronald Acuna of the left field.
Yeah.
And, this is you and I have loved Jackson Chourio from the moment he showcased in a Brewers uniform. And here, I want to get your thought on this. The Milwaukee Brewers, nobody's mad that they didn't spend in free agency because they love their young core. Bryce Terang, right? Yep. They got Sal Frelick. They got Blake Mitchell, Garrett Mitchell. They got, this guy, the Miz, all this, right? People are mad at the Tigers, who are literally doing the same thing the Brewers are doing.
Yeah.
And they have shown the ability to go in the playoffs, but more people are mad that the Tigers aren't spending. Why do you think that is? Because they literally have the same strategy. Like, it's all about the young guys. But why are more people mad about the Tigers instead of the Brewers?
Probably because the Brewers are winning their fucking division, all right? Great. And it's I don't know, it's Milwaukee. We're both quote unquote smaller market teams, but the Tigers have shown the ability to spend in the past, whereas Milwaukee really hasn't done that outside of maybe the Christian Yelich deal. After trading for him.
Yeah.
But the Tigers have had a track record of being able to spend. So I think the fan base is pissed off because the ownership this regime of ownership hasn't spent the way that Daddy Mike did.
Right.
But they're doing it now. I mean, if you looked at the after arbitration and the free agent signings, I think the Tigers are like mid to they might be close to top 10 for payroll,
which is
crazy. So they are isn't that crazy? So they are spending, but I think that really it comes down to it. I think that's really the reason. It's because the Tigers have had a track record for spending, whereas Milwaukee has never really had that record. Record.
So maybe the expectations a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because they both have the same strategy, So that's interesting. But yeah, Jackson Chourio.
The difference is I feel like Milwaukee is also churning out better talent than the Tigers are in regards to developing players.
I think you're right.
Based on looking at the core, I would take Milwaukee's core over Detroit's core any day right now.
That's a take. Woo! Yeah. And guys, that's a Tigers fan. Like a diehard Tigers fan telling you that.
Yeah. I love what they're doing in Milwaukee, and I would take their core with Chourio and all that over a Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson core, quote unquote core, just because they're offensive players. I feel like their offensive players are better than our core offensive players.
I couldn't agree more with you. I think that's a great take, and I think probably pitching wise, I think we're good because we have Skubal now. But once that happens, then it's then we're shit. Yep. But
I was gonna say after this year, we're gonna go back to being shit because Skubal's gone.
Yeah, especially and the rotation is gonna be fucked up. Yeah, that's a great take. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's our then and now. We're moving on to is it center field next week?
Fielders, yeah.
All right.
Andrew
Ken
Jones
Griffey Jr. and everyone else.
Yeah. Ken Griffey and the rest. If you don't have Griffey as your number one, I'm gonna get you checked for a stroke because that's like one of your favorite players.
Yeah. Then if I don't have Griffey as number one, then you'll know this is an AI bot that's not
yeah.
Good, all right?
Yeah.
Steve,
it's AI Steve.
It's AI Steve. Oh my
come
God.
Back.
Yeah, Steve, come back. Just keep rolling along. Yep. All right. Well, with that, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
Ready to ride the next big hobby wave? Market Movers puts the entire sports card and TCG market right in your hands. With pricing on over 7 million cards powered by real sales data, including eBay, Fanatics Collect, Golden, Heritage, and more. Track your collection on mobile or desktop. Instantly see your value and P&L by sport, year, player, set, or grade. Compare any card side by side. Monitor live price swings to spot trends early, uncover underpriced deals, and set custom alerts so you never miss a move. With Market Movers, you turn market data into smarter buys, bigger profits, and a stronger collection. Sign up today and try it risk-free for 14 days. Plus, get 20% off for life with the promo code GONE20 at marketmoversapp.com.
Oh, Mike, I think you should be able to get mine. I was taking a look at Market Movers here,
Okay.
and the latest cards. Again, I fucking love Market Movers. I was looking at my collection. It's even gone up in value since the last time I looked at it. So that doesn't get you rock hard. I don't know what does.
I'm hard thinking about it. Gotta be my collection.
So look at this guy. There's a guy who is I would say a Houston Astros darling, even though he did go away for a little bit. He was he was the youngest high profile player to enter the 2012 Major League Baseball draft. In the months leading up to it, he was 17 years old. He was already projected most likely to be a top 10 pick. His stock really, started to rise a little bit as leading up to the draft, and the Astros, took a flyer on him and selected him first overall, because they were that rock hard for this guy in the 2012 draft. Quickly ascended through the minors and made his debut in 2015, winning the AL Rookie of the Year, and helped contribute obviously mightily to that 2017 championship team. Tested the free agency, went away for a bit, and sucked massive amounts of ass for the most part before he was traded back to Houston. Career 275 average, 1,298 career hits, 200 home runs, 724 runs batted in. I believe he could not play in the World Baseball Classic due to insurance reasons, because for some reason he's a insurance liability. Who am I talking about?
That's amazing. This is a guy that everybody thought would be the next A-Rod. He never was. But I think he was the right pick for what they needed at that time to build that little dynasty they had there, and that's Carlos Correa.
It is Carlos Correa. And the card I went with is his 2015 Topps Update, which is going for only about $1.99 right now. It's down about 64.3%. Kind of looking at past sales, been kind of a roller coaster the last 30 days. Did peak up there in value some, but has gone back down to about $1.99 right now. So 30-day average of about $3.70, but right now about $1.99.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Mine you'll totally get. Okay. No doubt in my mind. This guy is the son of a former
preacher man.
He was the son of a preacher man. Former respected ball player who's no longer with us, but the guy is still with us, but his dad's not with us. It started out with Pittsburgh. Him and Jim Leland got into it a few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's hails from Riverside, California. Started his career amazing with the Pirates. Him and Bobby Bonilla were the next sensation. And the Pirates haven't really quite recouped from that lot, from losing both of them. But at the same time, one guy decided, hey, I want more money. So here I have now, I'm just going to Roger Clemens it and say, fuck it, and roid myself.
Okay. Roid myself.
14-time All-Star, 7-time NL MVP, which is mind-boggling to even think about. Career records that probably shouldn't count. 762 home runs, 73 home runs single season, which I think that's Aaron Judge's record, in my opinion. A little over. He never quite hit 3,000, which I didn't know until I think the other day.
Probably because he's intentionally walked so many times, right?
You know what? That's probably it, because he was the most walked player at that. I think I think that record still stands.
Hell, people, if I'm thinking of the right player, would intentionally walk him even with the bases loaded if it meant just giving up one run.
Who do you got? Who is it?
I think it's Mr. Roids himself. We talked about him earlier, Mr. Barry Bonds.
Yes, sir.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, just sad. I mean, the 90s had some really great ball players, and then it just, when you find out it was a lot of it was Fugazi, you just kind of bummed, you know? The Bonds was so good to watch in the 90s.
Dude, he was.
Early 2000s. He was just such a, I mean, he was a polarizing player. He was kind of a jerk, right? The media never really loved him.
Definitely was an a-hole, yeah.
But I think he kind of grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, right? I mean, his godfather was Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, yeah.
Bobby Bonds, that's the guy I was hinting at earlier. I mean, he was loved in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. So I think Barry Bonds was just groomed to be a ball player, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So I went to Market Movers, and I have this card, but it's not worth that much because it's not graded. But that's a 1987 Topps Barry Bonds number 320. It's his rookie card, but it says error card.
Oh, it's the error one. Okay.
Yeah, it's the error card, which and it goes from anywhere. I've seen it from $500 all the way to almost $2,000. I saw one recently sold for $1,700, but that shit's graded.
I was going to say, so what makes an error again for our viewers that aren't is up on what makes an error? Is there like a off with like a birthplace or something, or good question?
Well, and it was to a common printing characteristic on the reverse side.
Okay.
Yeah, it misprinted a 3 or the missing link in the card number, so it has a card number.
Good for that.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, well, it's not anything cool like the fuck face, like the Billy Ripken fuck face.
Right.
Or there's so many error cards out there that are really cool. This one more has to do with just the printing aspects of it, with the where it's numbered, in the corner.
I gotcha.
So, but it's still a high valued card, and on Market Movers, the data on it's kind of all over the place because it's high, then it goes low, stayed low for a long time, it went high for a short time, and then it goes low again. So this is a card,
like bonds in general.
Dude, I honestly think it's just, and you look at how many people like own it, or like the ones that they can track on Market Movers, not very many. So I think the market really isn't 100% correct on it yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense. So yeah, that's my Market Movers pick for the week.
Love it. Love Market Movers. They're our sponsor here of the Collection Corner, and love their app. Check them out. They're adding more cards daily, especially with the new Topps product coming out here in the last couple of weeks. So get on there. You can track your collection in real time. But love the folks at Market Movers. They're good people. So
and I think coming up soon we're going to be doing another giveaway. So stay tuned.
We are. Yep. Stay tuned. For that. We'll have another good giveaway coming up here. But get on there. Get on Market Movers. Start tracking your collection. You can watch it. Watch your collection grow, or hopefully not decline in real time. So it's a really cool tool to have. But with that, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, looking online, there's a lot of great cards of this guy. One of my favorites though is his 1982 Topps number 390. And he's looking dope. Has that great Orioles uniform, rocking the mutton chops here, and it's a happy birthday to Orioles great and Hall of Famer Eddie Murray, born on February the 24th of 1956. Now these are some Hall of Fame stats here: 287 career batting average, 3,255 career hits, 504 home runs, 1,917 runs batted in. Spent a bulk of his career there in Baltimore, before bouncing over the Dodgers and the Mets, then the Indians, then back to Baltimore, and then over to the Angels, and then did things with the Dodgers. Was a coach for a time with Baltimore, as well as on the Cleveland staff and the Dodgers staff for a bit. He's an 8-time All-Star, World Series champion 1983, AL Rookie of the Year 1977, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner, AL Home Run leader, AL RBI leader in 1981. Baltimore Orioles number 33 is retired, and he's also part of the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. This guy didn't need the fucking Veterans Committee to get in the Hall of Fame. He was the first ballot and inducted in 2003. A little trivia on Eddie Murray is the only switch hitter to achieve both 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. Wow. I was like, what about Mickey Mantle? Mickey Mantle did not get up to 3,000 hits.
Nope.
So he's the only switch hitter to achieve both 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. So, there you go.
Yeah. He's a guy that I kind of wish stayed with one team his entire career,
I do
because
too.
he had that air to him, that aura. It could have been the Orioles. I think his best teams are the Orioles, Cleveland, and that's it. The Orioles and Cleveland. I think were his two best teams in my opinion that I remember.
I agree. Yep, I agree. Yeah, Eddie Murray, just a hell of a player, and could grow mutton chops like nobody else, man. I'm telling you,
dude. Yeah, he really could. He just one of the greats, man. I woke up this morning, my Alexa, I have that Alexa Plus shit, and it gives me it gives me like random fucking facts when I wake up in the morning. So my alarm goes off.
That's fun. Yeah,
and it'll give me random facts. And it told me it was Eddie Murray's birthday today. I'm like, that's something I guess I didn't need to know, but cool.
And we're celebrating here on the show. I mean, it's also Hannes Wagner's birthday, but I think I did Hannes last year.
You've done Hannes a couple years.
Yeah, I was going to say. So I wanted to spice it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
He wanted to black it up a little bit for you guys, for our black listeners.
We are wrapping up Black History Month. So
we are wrapping up Black History Month. So
it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that, happy birthday, you mutton chop son of a bitch.
There we go. Oh boy. Yeah. So good show, man. Good show.
Yeah. Well, that's a fucking show. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's weird without an interview. This is our first interview list show in a bit here. So, sorry about that, guys. So,
yeah, sorry we failed you, fuckers. No,
sorry we failed you after this. But we got some good interviews coming down the pipeline here.
Yep, definitely some good interviews coming down the pipe. Plus, it's nice when it's just you and I, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
the olden days were just you and I.
Yeah, just you and I.
Yeah.
Well, Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, that's right. I'll take the high part. I'll take the high part. You sing the melodies. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. We're almost done with it now. Spring training.
World Baseball Classic starts up.
World Baseball Classic. We're going to be previewing that soon, and then we're going to be doing our preseason prediction show, our season prediction show.
Always a fun one.
That's always a long show too.
It is. Buckle up.
So, but in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for listening. And remember also, we have 2 YouTube channels. So if you go on our Underdog podcast, that's where a lot of you are listening. But we also have another channel we kind of spun off, and that's where we're going to have more content on that one. And that one sometimes gets released a little sooner than the one on Underdog. So
for sure,
it's at Long Gone or Long Gone the podcast. You'll find it on YouTube. Yeah. So
check it out. We're slowly growing it, but if you can go over, we'll have definitely more content. Like Mike did the the unveiling of the Penny Sleever stuff. You did the Mickey Lolich thing. I think I'm going to be cracking some product here in the next week or so, some top stuff. Do a break of some of that stuff. So check it out. You get more definitely behind the scenes content on there, which we'll keep coming up with more ideas. But love that you're listening on Underdog. That's great. But if you can take a little meander over to our own personal YouTube channel, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be nice, because that one we have a little bit more stuff on there that we can't quite put on Underdog, and just be a like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, bump those fucking numbers up.
Yep. Help to the algorithms. We'll take it.
We'll take it. But in the meantime, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. And I'm going to go lay down and maybe make myself some tea.
Ooh, all right.
And we'll catch you guys all next week.
Deuces.